Hey everybody, it's Boardman21, and before we get into today's build, I first want to say thank you to everyone for all of the subs, for breaking 1,000 and in such a quick succession there towards the end. Like, we literally were getting like 40 a day. It was crazy. Now, there is a special video coming to celebrate the 1,000 subs. Unfortunately, I can't release it yet. It's a work in progress. It depends on more than one person's time schedule, so it could be up to a couple of weeks before I can put it out. But it is a special treat. It is related to last Epoch. No, it is not a build video, but I think you'll be excited all the same to see it. And now for today's build, we are going to be doing the physical Shaman. We've done the lightning, we've done the freeze and the cold, and now we're going to go straight into it and go all out physical, because on Maelstrom, it comes with a crazy amount of 1 physical damage, 2 stun duration, and 3 dodge. So we are going to be running a huge amount, 79% dodge, at least 78% dodge at all times. You can get up to 79, 80 if you really go for it, if you have like a potion on use on belt. And we're going to be running a bunch of physical damage along with a lot of leech. So we're going to be using Eterra's blessing, so that 4% of all spell damage will be converted into leech for us, and all of these count as spells, including Maelstrom. So you will be leeching Maelstrom's damage, which is huge, because when you're running 20 to 30 stacks of it, you're actually doing a lot of damage. On top of that, the Ice Thorn's physical damage, the Tornado's physical damage will all be leeched as well. Alright, let's go ahead and get into the skills. For skills, we're going to be running Eterra's Blessing, Tornado, Maelstrom, Ice Thorns, and Summon Thorn Totem. For Eterra's Blessing, we're using this for heals, for armor and protections, and for a good amount of leech. We put 5 points into Safeguard for that 250 armor and protections, 3 points into Embolden, and 2 points into Livestream, which gives you 4% spell health leech. Since Maelstrom counts as a spell, you are leeching Maelstrom damage on top of everything else you're doing, which includes Tornado's damage, Ice Thorn's damage, and if you choose to use a different skill in your physical slot, because you can put any unspecialized skill, in our case Furry Leap, which is also physical. It is not a spell, but we leech physical damage. You'll be leeching some of that as well. We have 5 points in Improved Blessing for 100% increased healing, 1 point in Efflorescence for Eterra's Blessing to heal over time, and then Regrowth to heal again when it expires, with our final 3 points in Ancestral Renewal to summon a healing totem whenever you heal yourself, because you'll always basically be at full life, so you have a guaranteed chance of that. The reason we went with the totem is it's one more totem out there for the mobs to go after instead of you. Now with this setup, you can already see in our skills that when we cast Eterra's Blessing, our armor and protections all go above 50%, or very close to it. When we have this totem here, it also helps. But you just want to make sure that you're casting that at least every 4 seconds to make sure that you have these stats always going. Unfortunately, there is no icon to show you that it's still there, so you kind of just have to time it. If you have a clock or something that's going, you can just kind of time it with every 4 seconds, or just you can spam it a bunch. It's pretty cheap. You get your mana back. So between it and Maelstrom, you're just constantly spamming it to make sure you get it, because you constantly want to have that leech, and you're going to constantly want to have those armor and protections so you don't get one shot, which will eventually happen. Moving on to the next skill, we have Tornado. Tornado was a cheap option that gave us some of the buffs that we were looking for, because we wanted to build completely around Maelstrom, which meant that we wanted mana regen and we wanted cast speed, and both of those you can get with Tornado while filling in a 5th slot. So we have 3 points in Lasting Storm, 4 points in Hurricane, 1 point in Eye of the Storm, 1 point in Snap Gale to make it an insta-cast. That way it won't stop you, because Maelstrom already is going to make you stutter step when you're trying to cast it. 1 point in Aspect of the Storm for some move speed, 4 points in Gust of Renewal for that mana efficiency and to get 12% more mana regen, 3 points in Storm Rivers for 21% increased cast speed, you're going to enjoy that, and for Swift Wings we have 90% increased duration so that you can almost have 100% uptime of it. For Maelstrom, this is going to be your main damage dealer, and it's going to be your full defense, and this is the reason why you're going to have such high stun chance. So we have 5 points in turmoil for 100% increased area, so we can try and stay away from the mobs. 3 points in stack duration for that. The longer the stack duration, the more you're going to be able to stack up, so you want to maximize on that. 3 points in sleep-footed for that 45 dodge rating per Maelstrom stack. That's really going to add up with all of the set dodge percentage increases that you get, and the fact you're going to be running consistently 15 stacks, but you can get as high as 30 if you want. 4 points in calm for the mana efficiency, so that you can continually just spam it and get your mana back. 1 point in Cyclone to convert all of the cold damage to physical damage. And then the other important thing, for every stack you have, you get 5% global physical damage, which is going to increase the Ice Thorns and the Tornado damage. Yeah, I don't know why Tornado counts as physical, but it does. And then for Essence of Debris, this is the huge one. You get 60% increased global stun chance per stack. So when you're running 20 to 30 stacks, you have 1200 to 1800% increased stun chance, which is huge, which means your Ice Thorns, which are firing off, doing pretty decent damage, especially since they're getting the 5% physical damage boost per stack as well, are going to stun lock enemies a lot. Fire Golems are pretty much the only thing you can't stun lock, but everything else, as long as its HP is kind of under 20,000, you can stun lock it pretty hard because you're firing so many Ice Thorns, you're just constantly going to be hitting it and getting in those stuns. Now, as you can see by our stats, if I just spam this and we get to our maximum stacks here, we'll just go till for 8 seconds, which will be here in just a minute, and we should hit about 8,000 dodge when we get there. So here we are, we're maxed out right now. We have 8,413 dodge for 79%. Now granted, you can't keep this up forever. We're still not out of mana yet, which is funny. We also have 2,000% stun chance. That's just some crazy things. Of course, you don't need that. I don't know how many stacks we had. We had probably at least 25. Let's find out. I think we got to 28 on this build earlier. And we just spam it. And there you go, 31 stacks is what you can get to. It's crazy, it's astronomical, and it does really good damage as well. And then for Thorn Totems, to fill in the slot, there's a lot of things in the passive tree you get thanks to totems. You get armor protections, you get increased cast speed, you get a lot of things for having them. So of course we went with the Thorn Totems because you can get so many of them, the mobs will go after them, they protect you from projectiles, and the only thing that you don't want to do with them is hit them with Eterra's Blessing. You want to hit yourself with Eterra's Blessing, so make sure that you're not aiming at them when you fire off Eterra's Blessing. But with that, you can skill this however you want. We of course want the 5 all at once. So we have 3 points in Forested Expanse, 3 points in Eternal Forest, 1 point in Groove Mind, 1 point in Ancient Power, 3 points in Torrent of Thorns, 3 points in Impale, 2 points in Shred Armor, 3 points in Winged Thorns, and 1 point in Frenetic Attunement. Now remember, your global physical damage and global stun chance does not affect your minion stats at all. So you really can do anything you want with this. All it's used for is the passive buffs that you can get from them. Alright, for passive skills, we have 20 points in the Primalist base class, 5 points in Natural Attunement, 5 points in Tempestborn, 5 points in Wisdom of the Wild, and 5 points in Thornbond. We have 0 in Beastmaster, we have 14 in Druid, we have 6 in Blood Claws for that 9% physical damage leech, which is huge because we're running a lot of leech on hit on our gear as well, and it's global leech percent increased on hit, and our physical damage is hits. Your Ice Thorns and your Tornado are doing physical hits, so you're actually leeching closer to about 40%, including some of the leech that we have on our idols. You're getting about 40 to 50% of your damage, physical damage, leeched. We also have 4 points in Wood Laurel and 4 points in Spirit Claws for some increased physical damage, both spell and melee. And then 79 points in the Shaman, which were mastered. We have 8 points in Ancient Stones, which gives you stun chance. We have 8 points in Silent Protector, which gives you armor and protections while an active totem. 5 points with Teutonic Flourish, so that when that totem's active, you also get 25% cast speed. 8 points in Earthen Supremacy for another 80% stun chance. 5 points in Fist of Stone for 90% stun chance. This also gives your minions increased stun chance, which means that your Thorn Totems have a chance to stun as well. This boosts that a little bit. It's not huge, but it's a little bit. Windbringer for some dodge, cold, and physical damage. 5 points in Protective Circle for more armor and protections per totem. That's why you want to have as many totems, so we try and get the 5 Thorn Totems, and then we also have the Healing Totem for Eterra's Blessing. It gives you that nice little boost. 8 points in Ruin of Awe. You don't really need the spell damage, but it does help Ice Thorns damage, so that helps it stun more the more damage that it does, even though we're trying to do a physical build. 8 points in Elemental Shrines, 6 points in Swirling Maelstrom, so that you have a chance to cast it when you do get hit, and 8 points in Ascended Circle for that increased spell damage per active totem. For items, we are running idols with 2 types of idols. One that does damage leached on health as hit, that also has spell damage, and you need at least one that's giving you % chance to summon Thorn Totem on hit. You don't need the cold damage per active totem, but if you have one with that, it's always helpful, so we threw that on. For your actual items, your weapon, you want increased physical damage, you want cast speed, you want stun chance, and you want mana. If you're finding yourself having a hard time surviving, you can get rid of the mana and the stun chance on this and just go elemental protections or whatever other protections you're lacking, because the 83% stun chance, really in the scheme of things, isn't that much. I mean, you're talking you already have 1200 to 2000% stun chance. That 83 doesn't make a huge difference. Protections are going to help you more. 34 mana does help, and this is actually a low roll. We only have a T2 mana here, but if you want, again, protections, you can go with protections over that amount of mana. For the chest piece, we just have dodge and protections. For the helm, same thing, dodge and protections. For the jewelry slots, we're doing dodge. We have mana efficiency on the amulet. We went the brass amulet for that cast speed. We have physical damage and set dodge. Now, if you want more protections, you can do set elemental, but we wanted to run the increased damage leeches health on hit on both of our rings and our relic and our gloves. So those are the things that we chose to go for. Belt's got the dodge rating. Again, we have, you want mana regen on your rings, and you also want mana regen on your relic. For boots, we went with movement speed, double dodge, and subset glancing blow. And then again on the gloves, instead of the damage leeches health, you could do cast speed. You don't really need it, but you do want the mana regen. You want the mana regen on all the 4 items that you can get it. Alright, with that, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys some gameplay.